easy. It's not complex because he's looking for a way out anyway. He's not trying to find someone who's going to resist him. He's looking for someone who will not resist them. Right, self-interest again. Exactly. Right, all you got to do is bring that to the forefront and let them know there's a way out of this, a nonviolent way out. So it's about you caring enough psychologically to create that bridge. And that's why I view this system as it is the bridge. It's the bridge that you build between a situation and your ultimate objective, which is nonviolence. So the bridge is a system. It's a way of thinking and behaving that creates a result. That result, in the end, is what you're looking for. So we say we don't want police officers to be violent, but then we say you only have to train 40 hours a year. Can you imagine a football team training 40 hours a year? A basketball team, a boxer.
We have one here in Detroit.
Yeah, no, they trained 40 more than that, still weren't doing good. Can you imagine if they only did 40? They would die in the game. So we're setting the officers up, saying, hey, we consider this professional behavior when there's no way you do. 40 hours a year is enough for anything. There's no failure rate. How can you have a no failure rate? Training with no failure. That doesn't make sense. In other words, you don't get cut from the team. What kind of team has no one get cut for lack of performance? So that's another issue. So until you have a performance-based system with the performance metrics that you're looking for, you really can't have the outcome you're looking for. Sir?
Yeah, I think one way to look at why it's so frustrating with a public police force, one way to understand why that is and why it will continue to be frustrating. I listen to you and you're an explosion of ideas. You're saying, let's do it differently than people usually think of it. Let's think outside the box. Let's do this in a way that minimizes violence. Because violence sucks. I mean, it's expensive, it's costly, it's emotional. Nobody wants that.
They only want it, they're guaranteed to be the winner. Then it feels cool.
But even
bully mentality.
I mean, when there's violence, is there really ever a winner? I would question whether there really is.
Those people that are self-interested in bullyism, that's my point. I want to dominate others. And this is why I call it pain sharing. So they had a bad life or they had a feeling of inadequacy, and now they want to share or feel that validation by watching you suffer. And that's what people don't get, is it really is about that person. That's what the violent criminal who comes up to you with that gun and tells you he wants a car, he knows where to get a new car from, a dealership.
Maybe he just needs some empathy and a hug.
Yeah. Sometimes. And it'll be weird, like, I just talked to the guy and he left. Other times, what they want is blood and guts. They really want you to suffer.
But if I think you have a good idea and you have a better way to do it, I would be willing to hire you to protect me.
So would I.
But I have an element of choice there. If somebody has a better idea in a less violent way the following season, I might be able to choose them. But with a public system, the element of choice is gone. I can never withdraw my support from that system.
Yeah.
So we'll always chug along, be behind. It will never be an explosion of new ideas like you are.
As long as it's a monopoly, it can't evolve. Like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Monopolies
But
are bad, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think what happens, especially if it's controlled in a situation where there's no performance-related requirements. So the main problem is not that it's necessarily government as much as it is there's no performance.
But the
There's
question is,
you can't get fired. Once you're in, you're in.
But you know what, there
The
is,
question
and the
is whose
system is
requirements?
getting the outcome it wants. The prisons are full.
Oh, I know.
People are scared.
That's why I tell people, I had this meeting with this FBI guy, this FBI supervisors. They see things totally different. They're like, everything's fine, it's going along the right path. I was like, are we having the same understanding here? I was like, first of all, this is all bad. Everyone's in prison, and it is my favorite part, crime didn't go down. Did you notice, sir? The crime didn't go down? Okay, so you had this great plan, you tried it, everyone's in, and what happened? Nothing good. So now you have to...
Nobody had a choice to be able to opt out and leave, and that's what you have when you have governments. You can't opt out. You can't opt
and
out.
even the conversation about opting out is probably a problem. They get arrested for that. They discussed opting out. That's got to be something illegal about that. But my point is, what they're doing is they're criminalizing human behavior, not going after criminals that are victimizing people.
Yeah.
Victimizing people is almost not even a crime. Almost, it's the part where you're either making money that's not taxed. That's the favorite function of law enforcement right now. It's like the witch hunt. I call it the new witch hunt. How are you making money? Because that's what we're after. And so these little boys running around with a pocket full of cash for however long they're going to stay alive, it's more important to put them inside, which actually prolongs their life probably. They're so interested in finding out how they got the cash in their pocket, they even have the ability to arrest them for living a lifestyle with no proof of impropriety. Did you know that?
Yeah.
There are guys going to, they have guys going to prison for long periods of time for having wealth,
Lifestyle.
for having a lifestyle, right? You have the lifestyle of. There's no like, you know, there's no like proof, there's no drugs, there's no testimony, there's no nothing. Just, you have stuff. Now you go to prison for that. You know how much time they spend, how much millions they spend putting that in order to get that?
Training they get in there as well. I mean,
Oh,
it just gets
these
worse and
guys,
worse.
and these guys are, you know,
Well, that's job
executive types.
security for the cops when they get back out.
Yeah, I would think, but you know, I think honestly that, you know, they're, the system is the drug dealer, so.
Yeah.
So there's no real Escobar thing. I think that's not real. I think that it's a system. You play in this game, you're just part of a tree, some sort of tree. The leaves are the people that you bust, and each limb represents a section that they decide, you know, we're going to take this limb out. It's Detroit limb, Chicago limb. But it's not real. It's part of the system of how we're making money and how we're on this path of incarceration, this incarceration fascination that we have.
No cartel left behind.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think the cartels are really our silent partners.
Oh, they are.
You said you're trying to grow